Welcome back to Parent Squad. The holiday season is upon us, and that often means lots and lots of family gatherings and bunches of events. But we do know that looks different for everyone. Indianapolis Moms contributor Erin Larson is here to talk more about navigating the holidays with divorced and blended families. Welcome back, Erin, and thank you for being here.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yes, remind the people just of your situation so they
Sure.
understand why we're chatting with you.
Yes, so I'm a single mom. I have an 8-year-old and a 4-year-old, and I've been divorced for about 3 years now. And I actually also come from a divorced and blended family. So I'm kind of like the, let's call it the divorce guru right now.
Yes. You have an experience that a lot of people can relate to, and the way you are navigating it, which you'll share with the people in just a little bit, is really beautiful.
Thank you.
And it looks different for everybody. So it's not about comparing, it's about making the best situation for yourself, especially around the holidays. We know it can be a challenging time for divorced parents, especially when it comes to dividing time. So let's talk about that.
Yes, and look, no one wants to share, but sharing is caring, especially around the
They're
holidays.
my kids.
Exactly.
They're mine.
They're my kids. And if you're going through a separation or divorce, you're not used to sharing the holidays. So I would say, first of all, understand that, yes, it's going to be difficult. It's going to be hard. It does get better, I promise. You're going to have to share. You're going to have to open those lines of communication and truly think through, am I getting enough time? Are they also getting time as well? Even though I want my kids for every single piece of that holiday, and also understanding that maybe your kids have to miss some things. So we split. I have them this year on Christmas, and then my ex has them on Thanksgiving, and we'll flip-flop every year. So Thanksgiving with my family, my kids won't be there, and that will be really hard. But what we also do is I'll celebrate with my kids the week before.
Yeah.
So it doesn't have to be on the day. Wow, that's hard, and we want it to be on that specific day. I think if you can celebrate in your own little way too and have your own little celebration, then you can still also have that time with them.
Yes. And so a few things, because it can be hard, but there's some pros to being able to share your children with your ex too. I mean, sometimes that break in a quiet house, it can be sad sometimes, but also a quiet house could be relaxing too.
Oh my gosh, yeah, and as a parent, right, like we don't get those moments very often.
Right, especially
So,
if you're like the primary parent, depending on your situation.
yes, I remember my first Christmas without the boys. We did Christmas morning with the boys, and then they went with their dad, and I ordered Chinese food. I watched Christmas movies.
Yes!
It was magical.
It sounds magical. So that's what it's really about, is trying to compromise and find the joy where you could find the joy. And that's really the best gift you could ever give your children, is two happy parents, hopefully, but you know, you can only control yourself, one happy parent. Okay, so how should you talk to kids about splitting time and handling any disappointments? I mean, you already mentioned it. It means you might end up missing some things.
Yeah. Yep, and look, we don't ever want our kids to be disappointed, especially around the holidays, but I think if we're really clear with them what the schedule is, what we do in our family is we print off physical schedules for every month. So November, December, January, because our kids are used to the schedules being a specific day every week. Like, they know where they're going to be at mommy's and they know where they're going to be at daddy's. But the holidays, we have to change that up a little bit. So we'll print off schedules for one for dad's house and one for mom's house, and we'll put stickers on them.
Oh.
This color sticker, so green sticker is daddy's day, purple sticker is mommy's day. And so they can visualize that and see what's coming up. So I think if they're really clear about what the schedule's going to be, having a visual, because they're not going to be able to remember. Sometimes I can't even remember. So it helps to have that visual on dad's refrigerator and on mom's refrigerator.
Yeah.
And there may be some disappointments, but I think reassuring them that, hey, you're still going to get time with mommy, time with daddy, and you're going to have a lot of magical moments, and it's still going to be really great for you.
Yeah, what I hear you saying is you're communicating with the other part, I want to say former partner of the child.
Yes.
You're communicating with their dad, but at the same time, you're also making sure you communicate with the kids.
Yes.
And that's a huge thing, is like taking the time to slow down,
Yep.
explain to them why certain things are happening,
Yep.
and then also helping them frame it. Like, maybe there's other things that we can look forward to.
Absolutely.
You know, you might miss this set of cousins, but there's a whole nother set of family members that want to see you and spend time with you. So it's a reason to be excited.
Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So what do you suggest when it comes to working with an ex to come up with the holiday schedule?
Ooh, that's a tough one because a lot of times you're right. Like in a divorced family situation, maybe the communication is hard, but you do have to open those lines of communication up. So really thinking through what's the schedule, what does your family have going on, what does my family have going on, and being really flexible.
Yeah.
And I think those are the two keys, being flexible when you can, and then really opening, like you said, those lines of communication is so, so important.
Then there are blended families. So what is your advice for creating unity? Because you're trying to make sure that everybody is really taken care of in this situation and everybody is as happy as they can be.
Right. I would say do your best, right? That's hard. The struggle is truly real. And I think creating new traditions has been, in our experience, really helpful in these situations. So I come from a divorced and blended family, and it felt really great when we could all create new traditions together. So do that where you can. And then I'm sure we all come from different holiday traditions. So making sure that everybody is part of those, that everybody knows what those are. Something that my family has done, because blended families tend to be really large, right?
Yeah.
It's hard to buy gifts for everyone. Like, let's do some type of I don't know, Secret Santa or White Elephant or whatever it is, where we can make it fun, we can make it a new tradition.
Yeah, maybe it's the gift, like a group gift, like a board game.
Yeah.
Then it's kind of like you
good.
have a gift that everybody can play a role in or something like that. I don't know, I just pulled that out of my hat. But it can also be hard for them to talk to friends who might be in a blended family or explain their situations. I mean, how do you kind of help your kids walk through that?
Yeah, so I come from the camp of just being really open and honest. Here's our situation, it's great, and everyone's is going to look very different, and that's okay. And we let our kids know that very often, that everyone's gonna celebrate really differently, and everyone's family is gonna look different. And what a beautiful thing that we can all have those different families and those different experiences, and just letting them know that it's completely normal.
Yeah, I love what how you're trying to frame it and share it.
Yeah.
And I think it's important because even if the two the birth parents are still together, it can still really be hard to figure out what to do, because now you're like, well, do we go with his family or do you go with my family, her family? I mean, it still really can take some juggling, trying to keep everybody happy, and maybe just really trying to focus on what's best for the kids is the answer there.
That's it. Put the kids first. That is my number one piece of advice, is think about the kids. It may not be what you want to be doing. So with my ex-husband, we still do Christmas morning together. And I am sure in some situations it's hard for those parents to be together for a couple of hours, but think about the kids, right? Let's do it for the kids, spend those couple of hours opening presents, and for the kids, they get to have both their parents there. Yeah. It's 2 hours, 3 hours of your day, and then they get to have that experience.
Yes, maybe just offer a cup of coffee, be cordial. You don't even have to talk to them. Sit on opposite sides of the room and watch the kids. Look at the kids. Look at them open up their gift. Wonderful kids. Keep it about the kids. I always appreciate you coming, and I appreciate you sharing, just because it can be tough.
It's tough, and like you said, it's tough in any situation. Yeah. And adding this extra layer can be a little difficult around the holidays.
Yeah, but also sometimes people are just because it can be so tough, they're not always open to share. Oh. But I feel like you sharing shows that other people are not only trying to figure their situation out, but there's hope, and hey, we should all be just positive and trying to do the best we can. That's why I love it.
Especially around the holidays. It's supposed to be magical. It's
supposed to be magical. Yeah. So we have more on Indianapolis Moms at WTHR.com/Parent Squad. That's where you can find more of Erin and her ideas and her writings and her thoughts, and maybe some advice for you too. Still to come, though, we're talking the top tech toys of the season with Katie from Indy with Kids. So stick around.